What's up, everybody? It's a Brown Water Banter podcast. I am Jared Seymour, and I'm here today with Jason Robbins and Jacob Craig.
Boo!
Boo! These guys suck.
Fuck that Jacob Craig guy, dude.
Whoa, no fucking cussing on the podcast here. Just kidding. We're here to talk about the Biloxi Comedy Lab. I had LB on. I don't remember when it was, a few weeks back, talking about trying to get a comedy lab, as he so named it, down here in downtown Biloxi. And there's currently a Kickstarter campaign going. Ends on January 20th. Is that correct?
Yes.
So just go to Kickstarter.com and you can literally type in Biloxi Comedy Lab and it'll come up. A bunch of different tiers of sponsorship packages that you can jump into, to try to help get this thing off the ground, help cover some of the initial upfront costs.
Yeah.
Are you looking at it right now?
Yeah, I'm going to bring it up.
Oh, I thought you might. I was like, is he texting somebody in the middle of the damn
Are you
podcast?
texting during the podcast,
Jesus
dude?
Christ.
No, man, I'm going to the Kickstarter page.
But so there's a bunch of different levels that you can sponsor, I think from $2 all the way up to you can write in your own number. But so, if you're listening, man, go check that out because Biloxi, I think, could use a little something like a comedy lab or a comedy store as another thing to do when you go out and party. That's what LB mentioned. He's like, there's tons of bars to go out, hang out, and drink. But other than big names coming in through the casino, there's no really where else to go and see that regularly.
This would be something that like you could, take a date to,
right?
Or something like that, or something you have a name comic coming through every weekend.
Yeah,
and we're at a perfect spot between where comedians are going to come into New Orleans and go straight past us on their way to Florida, like Tallahassee or Pensacola, and up to Atlanta, Birmingham, places like that. So if we have a good comedy club here on the coast, it's going to be another spot for them to be able to stop and make money. So it's going to do nothing but make the comedy scene along the Gulf Coast better. Like the comedy scene, I just did the Indie Fringe and Comedy Festival last weekend in Pensacola, which was a pretty big success for Pensacola. So if we had something,
I wouldn't know.
That's a sore subject for Mr. Craig.
We'll continue.
We'll get into that in a minute, I'm sure.
But it was a big success, and if we had another spot here, like even Mobile has venues that bigger comedians go through and
dedicated comedy venues in Mobile or no?
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah,
I do those all the time, dude. Mobile is one of the most established scenes.
Okay.
The most established scene that's close to us is New Orleans.
Right.
And then you go straight from New Orleans to Mobile. What they're doing in Mobile is amazing. And just to branch off of what Jason was saying, like right now the casinos have a monopoly on the entertainment industry.
Yeah. Oh, no doubt.
So this comedy club would be built by locals like us and LB Wilson who just love comedy. And yeah, there's going to be big name people coming through. But when they do that at the casinos, what do the local comics get? We get nothing.
Yeah.
Right.
They'll say they get local openers, but they get guys from New Orleans, which isn't fucking local.
Right.
So it's going to be, guys like me and Jason opening for big fucking names. So it's going to give back to the locals too.
Yeah, I wanted to, I've always dreamed of opening up a music venue down here. And in doing that, like talking with Kevin about it, you think like, well, you have the casinos around here that already pull in big names, but there's definitely... You could definitely do that and get people who aren't national touring acts, whether you're talking about bands and music or comics the same way, and have a sustainable business or bar here doing that locally.
The music, that I've been in the music industry for 20 years.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Jason and I have been in a band together.
I'm not a musician. I'm a drummer.
2000. That's true.
No one cares.
Since 2008,
but
I think.
The comedy scene and the music scene are very similar. And,
right.
Here on the coast, like I remember back in the day, we could play every weekend for 2 months and never hit the same club twice.
Right.
It should be that way for comedy too. Like there's no place for bands to play here now.
Well, until LB started, and we need to mention this, LB is doing right now open mic comedy nights at the Wayward Kraken on Mondays. Yeah. We mentioned it on the last episode.
Well, the comedy scene's getting bigger because there's comedy going on at the Juke Joint, and now there's one at Reno's, and there's what's the other place that just
I'm actually, I was going to announce this on the podcast today.
Yeah.
I'm starting my own open mic at starting February 6th and every Thursday after that at the Love Shack in Ocean Springs.
Nice.
Right in the heart of downtown. We're going to get a lot of foot traffic.
Yeah.
And we're going to get some, out of town headliners over, hopefully. And we're going to give back to the locals just like the Comedy Lab is. And we're going to book tons of locals up and down.
Nice, man.
That's the thing.
Nice.
The comedy scene is really growing. We just need a dedicated comedy club for the bigger names that want to come through and stop.
Right.
And come to.
Right. And you say bigger names. We're not talking about like the major names.
Yeah,
talking,
we're
but
not
there's
gonna
a
get,
lot
like,
up
Dave
underneath.
Chappelle or
right.
anything.
But there's a lot up underneath that
Yes.
level that people have maybe even seen on Anthony just had somebody with a Netflix special over here that he interviewed.
Yeah.
So there's a bunch of different levels, and those guys are funny as hell too. You know what I'm saying? So before he started doing the open mic night, was there I know the Juke Joint had done it a couple times prior to that, but obviously there was a scene where all y'all just kind of sitting in your like bedrooms, just hanging out, and then you like LB shined a light up in the sky and y'all all just showed up. How does that work?
Yeah, we were all hanging out in my mom's basement, and then LB was just like, "Hey, we have an open mic," and then we all like crawled out from the sewers and shit. And then, yeah, it was like, there was nowhere to do it. Like whenever LB started, the Juke Joint was still kind of doing it, but they weren't doing it every week.
It wasn't regular,
even.
I don't think.
And it shut down, and now it's reopened with a new host and everything. And now it's what it used to be. It's so great now. If you want to come check it out, I did a show for them the other night, and it was terrific.
Right.
But before LB said, like, hey, this is in Biloxi, and he really got the word out on social media. And I was like sleeping over at a friend's house, and they showed me, like, I didn't even see it. They're like, hey, man, here's a fucking place for you to do comedy, because I'd been doing it for a couple years already, and I had nowhere to fucking do it. So I just had all these minutes that have never seen the light of day.
When you say you'd been doing comedy, you'd been going to Mobile or New Orleans, or you just been like...
Yeah, I started at Zeppelin's in Biloxi. That was
where we met.
We both, made our debut.
That was your first time going up there?
Both of us, yeah.
Okay.
Same night.
Sweet. What? How old are you? You're young, if I remember correctly.
I'm 19. I'm about to turn 20.
First of all, go to hell.
He was like 16 at the time.
Really?
I was 17, asshole.
What? I drove up there.
No, I can't drive.
His head was poking out of his mom's vagina
as he was going
Oh,
through.
dude, that's gross.
What?
Quit talking about my mom's vagina, Jason. We've had this conversation.
I am your father.
Let's earn that explicit logo I have on Apple Podcasts. We're gonna earn it on this episode. What were you doing? Were you already like writing stuff? And obviously you had been writing material, right?
Well, yeah, I'd been writing material ever since I was 14. I
Okay.
was just like a punk kid in high school, and I didn't want to pay attention. So I was like, I have funny shit to say, and just wrote it down, and then just like stowed it away. And then my brother, who's a local musician, he plays with Nightstand and the Lampshades. He has this friend, Touch Biloxi, Mark Simmons, who you know.
Yeah.
He does these big birthday parties. He has one coming up that we're both going to be on. And he was like, hey, man, I want to do comedy this year, talking to my brother. He was like, do you know any comedians? He's like, well, my little brother writes jokes if you want to just throw them up there. And that's what Mark does. He gives people opportunities. So he's like, yeah, I'll give him an opportunity, and I'll give Jason an opportunity. Wally Phelps was the only comedian on there that ever performed before.
Yeah. I remember Wiley sharing video of him performing at like his work, like when he worked for AT&T.
Oh, yeah.
So he's been doing it for a while too.
He's been doing it for a long time, man. That's who I kind of looked up to when I first started.
Got his start. There was an Irish pub over in Gulfport that was doing open mic nights, and this was back in like 2015. I think, 16. And
is that Ben's place?
Yeah, it was Ben's.
Yeah,
I can't remember the exact name.
I think it was just called the Pub.
The Pub?
Or the Irish Pub. No, it was called the Irish Pub.
We were going, me and Wally were going over there every week, and they were doing it for a few months. And I actually pushed Wally to get on stage and start doing
that was his
comedy.
First one, yeah. How nervous were you going up there, man? That's got to be super intimidating, right?
Bro, Jason probably remembers more about my first time than I do, but I froze like right in the middle of my set. I was so nervous.
Really?
Yeah. It's like, luckily.
And it wasn't that bad.
No, it wasn't bad. Like, I still use some of that material today.
Yeah.
Like, some of my base shit is like from my first stand-up set, but I just paused right in the middle, and it felt so long. It felt like 15 minutes, and apparently it was like 30 seconds or some shit like that.
You hear that? What is that?
What is that?
I don't know. It sounds like a power saw.
They've been like cutting grass around here all day today,
weird.
even though it's raining. That's what it is.
It sounds like a chainsaw.
Yeah, hopefully. The mics usually don't pick it up, so if it does, somebody's doing something outside. But so you get up there, you got all this material, man, to step out in front of people that are like, sitting there like, make me laugh, asshole, to try to do that at 17 years old, I don't know.
yeah.
I would
Brave.
be. That's brave, bro.
It's so much, different for me because even now I'll go up there and they're like, "What the fuck's this kid gonna do?"
Right,
You know?
right.
And even then, it's like I wasn't supposed to be in the bar. Like I snuck in and hid from the staff, and I got up there, and then like, "Well, they can't tell me to leave now."
Damn. I was going to ask you that. What was the first time that you did comedy? Because a little fun fact of the show, you were the first guest, you and Anthony, over in Anthony's garage, episode 1. Go back and look it up, people. It's not on YouTube because there was no video. But you had mentioned about having just done stand-up comedy.
Yeah, I think that was around
That time?
that time.
What year would that have been? You probably already said that.
What was that?
2017.
2017.
So it was probably a little after that, I think.
Yeah,
I think it was
and
a little after that.
I did that and didn't really do much until the Kraken started doing it. I was at the very first Kraken open mic, and I've been there ever since.
What about you? When did you start writing jokes? Like, because you and I always fucking act stupid as shit, like at practices and stuff.
Well, the thing is, I've always been a
music.
comedy writer.
Okay.
Like writing scripts and stories. Like I won a state essay contest in college for a comedic short story that I wrote.
Okay.
And so I've always been kind of a comedy writer, but I never actually wrote like just straight up jokes until I decided. Like I've always loved stand-up comedy, but I never thought that I could actually just write jokes and do it.
Okay.
Still can't.
Yeah, still can't, but
Says the crowd.
but you know, just I started whittling my ideas down into joke form and just started doing it at the Kraken. I've been kind of refining it ever since.
What's the process like of writing a joke? I mean, I like to be funny, but like to actually craft a joke, is it something that happens in regular life that you think, that's funny, and you go back and tell the story and paint the picture of when it was happening?
Mostly, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it depends on what kind of joke. Mostly, you just have to hate yourself a lot.
Yeah.
Well,
A lot of
got
times,
that
I mean,
covered.
it is like you can just come up with like a joke, you know, setup, joke, punchline.
right.
And then a lot of stuff you're just like, well, this is kind of funny, but it's more in like a story form, like something that'll happen to you or something. It's all in the way you tell it.
Do you remember the first joke like that you ever wrote? Like
Oh God.
for your set?
stand-up?
Yeah, for
Oh, it
stand
was-
up.
I know.
It was
I know
awful.
mine. You know yours?
I don't know I was actually looking for my book because I knew you were going to bring this up, but I couldn't find my joke book.
Don't you try to
From
know what
back
I'm going to
then.
think.
But now I don't remember
You
what my
don't
very
remember?
first joke
That
was.
sucked.
The first joke I ever wrote, I still use to this day. It's a joke about I'm afraid to smoke weed because I'm always hungry sober, so I'm afraid I'll turn into a cannibal. And people love that fucking bit, so I
pretty good.
still use it.
That's pretty good. So tonight at 7:00, or depending on when you're listening to this, y'all are gonna go there and do the open mic night at the Kraken.
Yeah, it starts at 7:30.
Okay, this won't be out from then, so y'all are gonna miss it. But they do them regularly.
If you're watching
Yeah.
this live, you
It's
got
not
about
live. It's not live. No, yeah, it's live. Keep
Good.
talking to the people. But regularly 7:00 Monday nights.
Yeah.
Go check it out at the Kraken. How's that been going from y'all's perspective? Like I got LB's perspective on it, but I mean the crowds are decent. Everybody's pretty inviting. No hecklers. Y'all need a good heckler though. I feel like.
Oh,
if
we
you don't
have
we
hecklers.
get hecklers.
You got hecklers?
Yeah.
You need a good drunken like heckler.
Oh,
No, not a lot of drunks, but a lot of hecklers.
Nah, you need a good. I'll send Boyd over there. Get you a good drunken heckler. Like booing from the back and interrupting the jokes and shit.
Yeah, it's depressing though when you do a set at the Kraken and then somewhere else, because the Kraken crowds are always fucking terrific.
Really?
Yeah, they laugh at fucking everything. They come there for a good time, and
Yeah,
you
but
go.
the good thing about hecklers is with me is like I've been playing drums for like 30 years, so I'm deaf as fuck, so I can't hear what they're saying
hear
anyway. They're like somebody will
Yeah.
say something to me, I'm just like, okay, and go right back into my joke.
What'd he say? You're like screaming, Dad.
What?
Yeah. Be quiet.
We'll say.
Oh damn it! What's the top your top 3 comics? Can you do that?
It's
hard.
George Carlin,
All right.
Dave Chappelle,
All right.
and Bill Hicks.
I'm
a Bill Hicks
Me
fan.
too, man. I'm a huge Bill Hicks fan. Got to throw Dangerfield in there, but I only gave you 3 slots. So
he
that's
gets
kinda
no
hard.
respect.
Yeah, no respect. That's fitting.
I like Dangerfield, but he's very hit or miss with his jokes.
I
Sometimes
just like that his
they're
jokes
either really fucking hilarious or they
Yeah.
just fall flat. And I'm just like, that wasn't really
Yeah, he had the little jokes, like the little like bubblegum rapper jokes. I feel like,
well, that's
or
the
something.
thing. Like
you know?
that's like Mitch Hedberg. And
Yeah.
like
Yep.
I don't understand how to do that type of comedy because you have to write so many freaking jokes to
Yeah.
fill. Like you know,
You also have to create a character
set.
for yourself, which I was always
Exactly.
bad at doing.
Yeah.
Like I tried to like be a little character for a little while. I was
Yeah.
like, fuck that. I'm just gonna be me.
You mean Dangerfield didn't walk around like that all day long?
He probably fucking
probably
did.
did, huh?
He probably did.
What's your top three?
Top 3 all time, gotta be Carlin. I think everyone agrees on him for number 1.
yeah.
Probably Pryor.
I was gonna say Pryor's got to be. We didn't mention him either.
and then probably Chappelle.
Really,
Number 3,
I
yeah.
like Chappelle a lot. I mean, he is hilarious, but Pryor was really, really good. Hicks, like, I'm glad you mentioned him because I don't know. Is he well? I mean, obviously he's well known, but do you know like a lot of people that y'all see at these
kinda-
open mic nights? Probably like Bill Hicks. You
Yeah,
know?
I don't
they
think
don't know.
he's very like mainstream known, but people that are into comedy know who Bill Hicks is.
Yeah,
and
he was political comedy too, which I really thought was funny.
Yeah, but he had like a weird twist on everything.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. It wasn't like nowadays. You know what I mean?
he
But
wasn't
it was-
just like telling political jokes.
right,
he was
right,
just
right.
like
Commentating on situations.
yeah.
You know? I don't know. I have his DVD at home.
I got all of
which one it was.
his bootleg albums like Arizona Bay and all those.
Yeah,
They're
Tool
so
lyric.
good. Yeah.
Yeah, he was on the Tool album.
Yeah, I remember that was when I first heard about him. was
Young
through
Man
Tool.
on Acid.
Yep.
Yeah, that was him. Our Maynard maybe reread it. It might have
Yeah.
been his voice, but it was his material. So, well, that's killer, man. What we mentioned the campaign, man. What else do we need to cover? I mean, it's
Well, I was going to go through some of the tiers that people could do.
yeah. Let's do that.
Like you said, you can do whatever dollar amount you want. I mean,
Right.
as low as $1.
Right.
But if you want to get some rewards, if you do the $20 or more, you get 5 passes to any show in 2020. And that's whatever show you want to go to, you get 5 passes for it. $50 or more, you get 15 free passes. You get you and your friends in with no cover. Any comedy show from any comic that's coming through.
Right.
$100
Whether it's you
or more.
assholes are like a touring guy.
Yeah.
Right.
15 passes and 2 VIP passes for $100 or more. The VIP pass will be given access to the comedy green room, photos, and a meet and greet opportunity for the booked comedians. $200 or more, you get 15 free passes and 4 VIP passes. And I think we're going to do the $50 or above. We're going to do a wall of donors in the Comedy Lab too. Where we're
Okay.
Gonna, maybe been talking to my buddy Callie Robb, see if he wants to do like me and him do a duo like painting on the wall for the
well, I thought
Comedy
you meant
Lab,
like a song.
and then do go paint all the people that did like $50 and above.
Yeah.
Put their name on the wall so
Okay.
that it's kind of there for as long as the Comedy Lab is.
Nice. January 20th, I believe, is when it ends. Is that
Yeah,
right? I want to make sure I'm saying that right.
Let me make sure. Let's see, 6 days to go. Monday, January 20th at 11:20 a.m. It will be the end.
Yeah,
of the
and that's
Kickstarter.
the building that's being proposed for that is right down here at the end of Howard,
Yeah.
on the east-ish end.
Yeah, if you remember,
Old View Marche is like I like. To
yeah,
call it.
where the upstairs downstairs used to be.
Yeah.
It's kind of across that alley from
That's right.
where it used to be.
That's right. It's I mentioned this last time. A lot of people, my fat ass remembers the subway that was down
Yeah.
there. It's not
next
in
door to-
that building, but
yeah,
it's all connected.
It's next door to where the subway used
Yeah.
to be.
Yeah, you gotta eat
And
healthy.
If you can't donate anything, and like I know times are tough these days, but
Yeah.
like I said, a little is $1 or $2. But if you can't do that, then just share it. On
Yeah,
social
that's a
media.
good point. That's a good point. Share the campaign. Just go there and
Yeah, you can look up the Comedy Lab on Facebook, and you can pull up the Comedy Lab page, and you can go to Kickstarter.com and just type in Comedy Lab, and it's the only one that'll pop up, and that's it.
loving it. I hope it happens.
Me too.
It'll happen.
Because it'll be very hard to get financial backing without this Kickstarter.
Yeah.
To get the club up and running. The Kickstarter, we just need $12,000 to get everything comfortable.
Right.
For the financial back.
This is going to be a for real bar too. It's going to have
Yeah.
food and it's going to have liquor and beer. So
Yeah.
I mean, if nothing else, go there and eat and get drunk.
Exactly.
Listen to J Bob do his thing.
Yeah.
What's on the horizon for you gentlemen? What are y'all? I know you're shooting for the stars, right?
Jason's gonna die soon. So
Probably.
Mathematically,
yeah,
probably.
together, we're both gonna be. We've been doing like a little tour just around the like tri-state area.
We're called the Tender Dicks.
We're called the Tinder Dicks.
Nice.
Yes. You should promote us as the Tinder
Sounds like a
Dicks.
doo-wop.
It does.
like a
Yeah.
doo-wop.
The worst doo-wop ever.
Yeah.
But yeah, together we're going to be in New Orleans this Saturday,
Okay.
January 18th. I'm featuring for the headliner, Krangus Gillespie, who's a good friend of mine. He helped me set up the open mic that I have now.
He's headlining over there?
Yeah, he's
Okay.
headlining over there, and I'm going to feature for him. And I brought Jason just because. So
How? Just because I needed a ride.
yeah, I need a ride. So.
What's a time slot you get over there for something like that?
I have no fucking idea. I don't even know how much time I'm doing.
How
dude.
much material do you have? Like if somebody said do an hour, could you do that?
No, I could do 30.
30.
I've done
That's
30
a long
before.
time, dude.
Yeah, I fucking hate it.
Yeah.
but I can.
How does that work, Jason? Like with in music, it's normally like you're an opener, you usually get 30 to 45, and then it goes kind of up to. I mean, I guess like some bands do 3 hours, but that's exceptional. What is an opening? Is it 5 minutes, or is that just an open mic night thing?
I mean, it really depends on how. Like, if you're doing a book show, normally you're gonna do anywhere from 10 to 15 minutes. If you're an opener.
Yeah. So I've seen some openers do 5. It depends on the comic, it depends on the show, it depends on how many people.
Okay.
You know, most headliners do 30, most features do 15 to 20. Yeah, that's basically it. Everyone else, like the in between opener and feature, they'll do about 10. You know.
Damn. Okay. 10 minutes is a long time to stay up
Yeah,
there.
it
and make
doesn't
somebody
sound like
laugh.
a long time, but when you're up there trying to, you're writing jokes, it takes a lot. It's taken me a year now just to like get up a good solid 15 minutes.
Really?
Of my best stuff.
What's the worst bomb you've ever done? Where and
Oh, I think not
Was it the music,
box?
Yeah.
Oh my
where was
God,
that? Where's that at?
It's in Mobile.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
the Alabama Music Box. They don't do comedy there anymore. They've had a huge falling out with the Smokey Jokes 251. Shout out.
Okay. I'm assuming it's normally like a music venue or just a
Yeah.
regular bar.
Well,
Yeah.
we did it the first time we did it was great.
Yeah, we both won money. It was
Yeah.
fucking awesome.
The second time we went, there was and just to paint a picture, this bar it's like a shotgun bar. It's
Yeah.
really long, kind
Kinda
of
like the
thin.
Kraken, right?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
set up like the Kraken, maybe a little longer.
Right.
A little bigger, but way less seating.
Yeah,
Okay.
no
Nowhere to
seats
fucking
in there.
sit
There's
down.
like maybe 10 chairs in the whole place.
Right.
And it's set up like a music venue. Like you go in, the bar is right there to the left. You get your drink, and then you walk up, and there's the stage. Like it's this big open floor and a stage, and that's how it's set up. It's not the kind of place you go to where you're just gonna like hang out and have drinks with the boys,
Right.
You know. But that's what was happening this night. Like there was some dudes there that were just there to drink and hang out with
And
the
y'all
boys.
are like aggravating the shit out of them. Like, who are these
no,
assholes?
they were aggravating
Well,
us.
to them though, that's what I'm saying. They're
Yeah.
probably like, "What are y'all doing up there?" You
Oh,
know?
they didn't even care.
They did
dude.
not give a fuck.
They didn't acknowledge that you were doing or saying anything.
No.
Yeah.
Well, I walked them. The one time they fucking paid attention, I was like, hey, you guys talked more than I'm going to talk, so put some fucking money in the tip
Yeah.
jar. And then they all
Damn.
walked away and left.
And
That's
I-
fucking fair. You're going to talk the whole time, put a little fucking money in
Yeah,
the tip jar,
exactly.
man.
Yeah.
And it's all good. I
Damn.
forgive you.
Then I got on stage and I was performing for Jacob, his mom, and like the two people I brought there.
Because I walked
Really?
the entire audience.
I don't know. That's not necessarily a bomb though, right? I mean, the crowd
Yeah.
wasn't there.
Well, yeah, it depends on what you consider a bomb. If you consider it on just you or the
I'm talking like when you
circumstances.
deliver the punchline and there's at least 10
there's
people in there
been
and
a-
they're just like,
There's been a couple of nights where I've just gotten nothing but stares.
yeah. All right, thank y'all for being here. And just kind of
Yeah.
walk off
And
like
I'm
all
just
defeated.
I'm supposed to do 12 minutes, and I'm just like 8 minutes. I'm like, yep, I'm done. See you later.
Dude,
That's how you end it too. Huh? Like,
fucking,
fuck, I'm done.
You overlooked the worst show we ever did.
Which one?
fucking slapsticks in Panama City,
Oh,
Florida, dude.
That was it, dude. That was the worst.
I
show
turned
we ever
this
did.
show into a bit because it's so fucking bad. It's
Damn.
like a 10-minute bit I do now, dude.
So we go to this place and we think it's going to be okay because it's kind of like the Kraken. It's like a nerd bar.
Uh-huh.
Like you walk in, there's like lightsabers on the walls. There's like a TV with Smash Brothers on it that you can play. There's like video games everywhere. We get up to start the show and immediately a fucking fight breaks out.
Immediately, 30 seconds
Immediately.
in, our friend Ryan was hosting. He's like, hey, you guys want to hear some comedy? And you just hear, the fuck you say, bitch? And like, that's the show. Like, that's how it starts.
Yowzer.
So there was a lot of people there watching, but they were not. They were not laughing at anything. Like, I was on stage telling my best shit, and it was just like, I tell a joke and you hear,
and dude, and you got the best of it because everyone just left you alone.
yeah, 'cause
on?
there was a heckler there. And for some reason, he left during my set when I got up. But then when I got done, he came back and was heckling the whoever went up after me.
Yeah, Ryan.
And
I had to piss or something while you were up.
That was, and then Jade went up, and that was actually the best set of the night because all he did was just roast that guy for like 15 minutes.
He murdered it. Yeah, and then I went up, and it was supposed to be like a 2-hour-long show, and we only had 4 comics because the big headliner went to America's Got Talent and actually got past the first round. So congrats to him, Benjamin Brainerd. Look out for him on America's Got Talent, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know the fucking guy, but here he is getting some promotion. And the other guy that was supposed to come with us just texted us. Well, we were like 2 hours away from every person we ever like fucking met. He's like, "Hey, you guys have fun."
Yeah.
He just didn't fucking come.
And so during his set, Jacob's set, he's up there going through it. You were supposed to do what, like 20 minutes?
I was supposed to do 30 minutes.
30 minutes.
Yeah.
Gets like 12 minutes into it. Nobody's laughing. The dude's heckling. And finally, Jacob's just like, you know what? You guys want Jade to come back? And some chick in the back's like, yeah.
No, dude, the chick yelled. Like, she came in during my set. Jade does this bar frequently. She came in during my set and just saw that he was there and knew that she missed him. Was like, bring Jade back on. And so I looked around and I said, okay, I'm still taking all of my money. And then I got off stage.
So Jade gets back up to do another like 10 minutes or so.
Yeah, and he bombed.
He had nothing. Because he had already done all his material.
I just reset everything.
There was a drum set up there, so I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna jump onto a drum solo.
During your for your set is all you did?
No, I like during Jade's set, he was up there, and I was doing the every time he'd tell like some joke, like
doing the rim shots.
And then I was just like, you know what? Fuck it, drum solo. And for like 3 minutes, I
and
just
they
did an
loved it.
Drum solo.
That was the best part of the night. They fucking loved it.
That's cheating, J-Bob. That's cheating, dude. That's cheating.
But that was the worst.
Still made money though.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I still made some money.
That's awesome.
There's also that show with fucking Mark Viola came to the Kraken and headlined the second time, and you were booked on it, and I featured for him, and the entire night, like we had some heavy hitters even on the open mic, like it was so stacked we had to be like, okay, like the 3 of the best open micers before, and then we'll do Jason and then Jacob and then Mark. And no one laughed at anyone, not even Mark Viola, who's a fucking traveling
touring comic.
Yeah, comic, and it's like, how do we make you laugh? Like, what did you come here for?
I mean, I've heard like, national touring comics talk. I think some rooms are just that way, right? It's just that
But then there's other nights like
grouping of people on that particular night.
It was last week or the week before where you couldn't tell a bad joke. Like the whole place was just, they laughed at everything.
Yeah.
Like I could have got up there and just farted, and then it would have.
That's funny.
That's my act, dude. Don't you fucking steal my act.
Steal my show.
It just depends on the night,
Yeah, I hear you. Well, man, it's the Biloxi Comedy Lab, right? That's what he's going with, or the Comedy Lab?
Just the Comedy Lab.
Well, it's listed on one thing.
On Facebook, it's the Biloxi Comedy Lab.
Yeah. So
but you can just go to Kickstarter and just type in Comedy Lab, and that'll bring it up.
It's the only one.
But so the Comedy Lab, and it's going to be in Biloxi. So go down and to the Kickstarter, go to their Facebook page, and make a donation, man. Let's get another venue, another thing to do, another community, like you said, of people that are trying to do some things and make some people laugh. So I think it'll be a great addition to Biloxi, man.
The biggest thing is if you can't donate, or if you have donated, just share it. Share the hell out of it.
That's a good point.
Facebook.
That's a good point. Do the same thing with this podcast.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Share the podcast, man. Tag some comics. Tag some people. Tag that guy that wants to do comedy that just never has. Because this is the opportunity for him.
Like Mr. Jared Seymour, who keeps saying he's going to get up and do 5 minutes.
Like Mr. LB Wilson, who tries but can't.
I've bombed at 5 minutes before.
Just ask his wife. Boom!
That's what I meant. Oh! That's what I meant. That was that layup for you.
Yeah.
All right, man. Thanks so much for listening, everybody. Guys, thanks for coming out.
Thank you.
Have a good evening.